Hello, my name is Kate Hillock. I am the Senior Director of Clinical Monitoring here at Altasciences. Today, I will be sharing how clinical monitoring excellence drives the success of early phase trials. We'll focus on some best practices, including building strong site relationships, leveraging CRA expertise, and creating synergy within the entire team to ensure quality and compliance. Here is our roadmap for today. We will discuss the key challenges in early phase trials, along with the strategies for mitigation, how the clinical monitoring team acts as an extension of the sponsor, the importance of site relationship and engagement, and the expertise that is really essential for successful clinical monitoring. We will then wrap up with a short case study highlighting clinical monitoring excellence in action. Let's start by exploring the main challenges that are faced in early phase clinical trials, the opportunities they present, and how we can proactively address the challenges. Early phase clinical trials have accelerated enrollment. They bring operational complexity and communication challenges, as well as challenges due to data volume and consistency. Contributing to the operational complexity is the potential need to understand and navigate multiple SOPs and site workflows, especially in multi-site trials. For all early phase trials, access to participants must be carefully considered and proactively managed. As well, the operationalization of the protocol requires really detailed attention to ensure that all requirements are being met, as we all know that these studies progress rather quickly. Communication in early phase trials must be clear, it must be concise, and this is to ensure that study decisions are made quickly in a well informed manner. Expectations and risks are inherently high in early phase trials, and therefore these must be clearly defined for all parties right from the outset and then managed throughout the trial accordingly. Finally, it is expected that there is a high data volume, and with the introduction of multiple sites, there is an increased risk for variability in data entry, which may impact quality. To overcome all of these challenges, our experts provide robust oversight in the form of exceptional clinical monitoring, which is built on the foundation of high quality procedures and timely training. To develop appropriate mitigation strategies, we dedicate time as early as possible in the process to identify and fully understand potential risks. So, how do we do this? We focus on the four pillars shown here. First, we ensure that the CRAs act as dedicated site liaisons, having frequent touch points with their sites and defining clear escalation pathways. We will return to this key principle of site relationship and engagement again a little later in this presentation. Secondly, highly experienced CRAs who have the appropriate therapeutic or design expertise are matched to each study. Again, there will be more information on this to follow. Next, I'd like to talk a little bit about the clinical monitoring plan. It is this document that really sets the foundation for our approach to solid, high quality monitoring. The clinical monitoring plan is the product of the expertise and experience that make up our team, combined with all those things that make each trial special and unique. So, when developing the clinical monitoring plan and recognizing that each study has risks and challenges unique to that given protocol, each study is considered carefully and the monitoring approach is tailored accordingly. We may implement an on site or a remote monitoring approach or a hybrid of the two. In any case, we will also work with the sponsor to determine if and how risk-based monitoring should be implemented. The clinical monitoring plan is where we come together with the sponsor to agree on what strategy makes sense for their trial, ensuring that we optimize oversight efficiency. Finally, a strong collaboration between CRAs, data managers, and project managers, as well as the sponsor and trial sites, is key to maintaining quality and compliance. Timely and transparent communication sets the stage for a trusting relationship. Clinical monitoring by Altasciences CRAs is not just a service. It is an extension of the sponsor's team, with the CRAs acting as the sponsor's eyes and ears at the site, ensuring that standards for quality, compliance, and participant safety are upheld at all times for all sites. Success in early phase clinical trials depends on strong relationships between the sponsor, the CRO, and the trial sites, and these must be nurtured from the very beginning. Whether it is a single site trial or a multi site trial, this interaction is critical for success. The sponsor sets the strategic direction and defines the protocol, and then they rely on us, the CRO, to operationalize these plans, to manage the day to day clinical monitoring, and to maintain quality standards. The CRA truly acts as the bridge to the site, providing training, conducting monitoring visits, and ensuring timely data entry and safety reporting. And I will say it again, clinical monitoring is not just a service we provide. We are an extension of the sponsor's team. This partnership is built on trust, on transparency, and on a shared accountability for trial success. Open and timely communication, including the setting of expectations, all contribute to building trust so that we can all work as one team. Moving on, I would like to take a moment to specifically consider the importance of the relationship between the CRA and the trial site. Site engagement is fundamental. When sites feel supported and informed, they are empowered to deliver high quality and timely data and to prioritize participant safety. At Altasciences, effective site engagement starts with proactive communication, clear escalation pathways, and building trust through transparency. And if you feel like you've heard this earlier in this presentation, it's because this is very similar to the principles we've already seen are applied in the successful relationship between the sponsor and the CRO. Here at Alta Sciences, CRAs are encouraged to feel ownership, true ownership, for the relationship that they have with the site staff. And this is supported by all levels of management. Together, these elements drive successful collaboration, timely issue resolution, and prevent delays. And we can all recognize the financial implications of delays. So, how do we build this trust? First, our CRAs support their sites beyond compliance, helping with operational challenges while focusing on participant safety. Trust is built through transparency and consistent engagement, and it fosters a truly collaborative experience for all. Being proactive in every aspect of clinical monitoring is a sign that we truly care about the trial, about the site, and about the participants. We appreciate that each site is unique and that personalized support is needed. And our CRAs provide this. Why? Because we recognize the downstream effect of the resulting strong engagement, faster issue resolution, better protocol adherence, and ultimately enhanced participant safety. At Alta Sciences, we have transformed clinical monitoring into a true partnership, empowering sites to deliver their best and reducing risks. Finally, let's look at the expertise required for effective clinical monitoring and site engagement. In early phase trials, which carry the highest level of risk and where participant safety, complex protocols, and rapid decisions matter the most, having strong CRAs with the relevant expertise is non negotiable. At Alta Sciences, highly qualified CRAs bring targeted experience to the table. And it is because of this experience that they proactively identify issues before the issues can impact participant safety or data quality. For multi-site trials, the addition of a lead CRA to trial teams support consistency across sites, whether it is for report review or handling of risks. As well, the lead CRA is able to identify trends and act as an escalation point within clinical monitoring. Finally, it is important to highlight that it is the sum of all of our clinical monitoring experience and expertise that have resulted in a robust and yet still very flexible clinical monitoring plan template. As mentioned previously, a solid clinical monitoring plan ultimately optimizes oversight efficiency. To pull this all together, let me wrap up by walking you through a recent case study that demonstrates our impactful approach to clinical trial monitoring excellence. This particular study involved 4 sites and over 50 participants, with more than 10,000 case report forms to manage. Our monitoring was intense and sustained, spanning 7 months, with 2 CRAs and a co-monitor dedicating over 55 days to source data verification. Collectively, the assigned CRAs brought more than 58 years of monitoring experience to the table. Quality and oversight were at the forefront. We held weekly sponsor calls to review critical to quality KPIs, maintain 100% compliance in reporting, data, and queries, and visits, and had no documented deviations from our clinical monitoring plan. Regular team monitoring ensured all deliverables were met. And collaboration was key. We worked closely with data management, we held ad hoc meetings for query management, and we maintained strong site relationships, which led to faster issue resolution. Thanks to clear expectations, frequent touch points, and fostering that trusting, solid partnership between the sponsor, CRAs, and sites, we completed monitoring ahead of schedule, enabling an early database lock. This study highlights how our rigorous, collaborative, and proactive approach drives success in early phase clinical trials, ensuring both quality and efficiency. And with that, I would like to thank you for your time today. Please do feel free to reach out with any questions and to discuss how we can tailor these practices for you.